Chris Parnham looking to go back to back in the first two. The red light goes on. Runners stand at the 1600. Away in their racing, Minus looks Mountain Ash with the first of them away from Arnie's Boy, pushing up to try and hold that spot from Beat the Bro. Coming across is Friar-esque from Mr. Mount Walker, and dropping out last in the early part, the mare Go Bella. Over into the back they go, they settle down. Parnham has taken Mountain Ash to a clear lead. He slips at a bit of rain, draws a length and a half to Friar-esque at the 1200, who goes up second over on the outside of Arnie's Boy. Back in the clear, Minus looks a length and a half to Beat the Bro, who's pulling hard back there, third from last. On the rails is Go Bella. The tail ender now is Mr. Mount Walker. They've left the 1000, tracking down the riverside of the course, and Mountain Ash leads the way under a good hold from Parnham, out by a length and a half. Running second is Friar-esque. No change at all to the order, with Arnie's Boy third. 3/4 of a length away then came Minus looks over on the outside, the 9-year-old getting a good toe into the race. Trailed up in turn by Beat the Bro from Go Bella on the rails, and last is Mr. Mount Walker, only about 5 from the leader. Well, Parnham was able to get a couple of very cheap sectionals here as they approach the 400 with the favourite Mountain Ash, and he's quickening now. He's starting to whistle it up coming into the home corner, and Mountain Ash quickly drew a length and a half to Friar-esque, with Arnie's Boy sticking close to the rail. Minus looks called upon. Beat the Bro starting to run on well. Go Bella behind them. Further back, Mr. Mount Walker. Mountain Ash joined by Minus looks. Mountain Ash kicks. 120 to go. On the outside, Minus looks Beat the Bro. Parnham lifting Mountain Ash though from Minus looks. They'll split the line. Bob of the heads. Mountain Ash, I thought, might have given Parnham a pair early. Mountain Ash just from Minus looks, who got a dive in right in the shadows. Go Bella close up. Beat the Bro and Arnie's Boy from Mr. Mount Walker, and dropping out last is Friar-esque. Battle of wills in the run to the line. Favourite though holds on. Mountain Ash. The Safeguard gelding, ridden by Chris Parnham, who wins the opening 2 races for the day. Mountain Ash all the way. They found the key to this horse, making him a front-running type, but he was beautifully executed in front. Seemed to get away with some really, really modest mid-race sectionals there, but the time overall is still good. 1:35.70. And indicates just how well he might be tracking at the very moment. Mountain Ash beats the veteran, number 3, Minus looks, Troy Turner. 4, Arnie's Boy, Taj Dyson third. 4th, number 6, Beat the Bro. And the margins are ahead by 3/4 of a length. 5-3, 4-6. The sectional is 35.83. The winner, Mountain Ash, that was his 5th from 26, but he's been in fabulous form of late. A Safeguard 8 Roses gelding, and raced by Richard Bennett, Beacocks, the Magic Maulers, Neddy's Racing, DJ Parsons, and Gents on Tour Racing Syndicate. And prepared by Danny Morton. Chris Parnham there with the first 2 winners this afternoon on Supremacy Day. Second home, Minus looks a demerit, all-class gelding, owned and trained by Gary Delane from the Midwest. Troy Turner there aboard. And third, Arnie's Boy, who's by Patronise out of Let's Get Even, Ash Maley, Taj Dyson, for B Frost, K Small, G Bishop, CB Frost and B Greenwood. And behind those was Beat the Bro. Okay, that was the tail of race number 2, and it's a nice way for Chris Parnham to start the day with a double, an early pair. The Dudley Preston handicap is next at 1:49. Number 6 comes out. That's One Cool Gal from race number 3 over the 1200 metres. So we're down there to the 7, another pay 1-2. As we head to Brittany, she's joining us now from the winners' enclosure after the victory of the favourite Mountain Ash. Jumped $2.20, beautifully executed front running ride, Britt.
Mountain Ash victorious here, the young kid on the block really, as a 4-year-old taking on some of the horses that have been there, done that. A couple of 9-year-olds on his back in running, and in the end, the young horse able to run away with it. One that they purchased for Broome and did the season in Broome, but clearly is a little bit better than that, able to win in town on a Saturday. Danny Morton joins me now. When you purchased him for Broome, I guess you didn't think you'd be back here winning races?
Probably not, but we bought, for the same clients, we bought Stafford's Lad for Broome, so they're having a pretty good run.
Well, I think there'll be a few people putting in orders for a broom horse if this is where they end up. Has the key to this horse been rolling forward and letting him make his own luck?
Well, the real key to him is just maturity. The horse has just matured into a nice horse now. He's way stronger now than he was, sort of when we first laid hands on him. And yeah, like it works for him, sort of rolling forward and stretching him out pretty early. So it's working. We won't change.
What were your thoughts in the latter part of the race when Chris was getting desperate and really lifting him?
Yeah, to be honest, I was sort of hoping he'd be able to creep away from him a bit more than he did. So he was vulnerable. But that said, they had the whole length of straight to run him down, and he held him off.
Weapon Sun and Top of the Pops still to come today. Which one can you steer the punters into?
Pops is obviously pretty short, and I'm not a punter myself, but I couldn't be happier with him leading into today's race. And the other guy's done nothing wrong either. He's stretching out to 1800, but he's very capable.
Fingers crossed it can be a treble. Well done on this first one.
Thank you.
There is Danny Morton, Mountain Ash victorious here for Chris Parnham, and he's catching up with Scott.
Well, Chris has been swamped by horses and owners alike here in the last 50 metres. Chris, Mountain Ash straight to the front. It looked like you got a couple of cheap sectionals there mid-race.
Yeah, a little bit. I sort of tried to let him roll a bit from the 1,000, but I wanted to let him roll without sort of riding him along to get away from him. So probably would have expected him to get a bit more of a break on the field, but still straightened with a nice enough lead, and he was there to be beaten. Like he got challenged and fought them all off.
And that probably looked as though in the last 50 metres he was fighting them off. It almost looked like in the last couple of strides he was pulling away again.
Yeah, it sort of felt like at the 100 they kind of had me, and maybe 2 or 3 of them had me, but he just sort of kept chipping away, and they might have just come to the end of their run.
Could he chip away at 1,800 metres, or does the mile see him out?
I don't think the mile sees him out. I think he could run 18. He was still sort of good through the line then, so couldn't see why not.
Super session in the next. Can you go 3 from 3?
Yeah, well, I actually thought this was my best rider of the day, so yeah, hopefully he can bring his A game and be right there.
Best luck.
Thanks.
There is Chris Parnham, and it's Mountain Ash who takes out race number 2, defeats Minus Looks. 5-3, 4 and 6 the numbers.
Yes, I'll be there in sunshine or in shadow. Oh Daddy boy, I love you so. And when you come and all the flowers are dying, if I am dead, and dead I may well be, you'll come and find the place where I am lying, and kneel and say